Yeah, I had only cowboy camped a few times, which means camping without a tent, just camping on the ground on my PCT through hike. But just a few days in, I woke up to the sound of something chewing inches, what sounded at least like inches from my face. So I grabbed my headlamp and it was a mouse, which is what I thought it was. It was like mid feast, gnawing through my bag. Forget like snakes, scorpions, bears. This was the real enemy that I battled. This was the reality of what I encountered. So if you were picturing the great outdoors as some horror film filled with like venomous snakes, bloodthirsty scorpions, and spiders lurking in every boot, you're probably going to be disappointed in a good way. The truth, most of those critters could not care less about you. But the ones that do, like mice, we're going to talk about the real enemies. Hey y'all, I'm Jeffrey. Welcome back to Trail Boss, a semi-helpful guide to conquering your backpacking fears. In this 9-part video series, we are tackling the biggest fears that my audience listed as the top things keeping them from exploring the outdoors. So the whole goal is to tackle a few of those so that they feel a little more digestible so you can stop worrying and start hiking and enjoying the outdoors. Before we dive in, don't forget to grab the accompanying ebook, Trail Boss, a semi-helpful guide to conquering your outdoor fears. It breaks down how to handle wildlife encounters, avoid trail-ending mistakes, and actually enjoy your hike without paranoia. So check it out. It's completely free. And if you just want to hike without stressing about critters at all, you could just check out my group trips. I host trips all over the world. Some of them are more adventure focused, some of them are more leisure and Nordic spa focused, but we handle everything. So you just get to focus on adventure and not dodging mice at 2 a.m. or dealing with airline logistics. So let's get into it. Okay, y'all, I was terrified of snakes before my through hike. I have always been. I respect them. I love them. I don't want harm to come to them, but I don't want to be anywhere near them. But by the time I hit Oregon on my PCT through hike, so almost 2,000 miles in, I was just casually stepping over rattlesnakes like they were speed bumps. I got really desensitized. And here's why. So first and foremost, here's the truth about snakes, if we want some facts. Snakes want to avoid you just as much as you want to avoid them. They have no desire to be near you. They have no desire to bite you. They don't want to be near you. Next, most snake bites, I don't remember the stat. I should know it since I'm making a video about it. It's somewhere in the realm of like 80 to 90% of snake bites happen when people are trying to pick them up, are trying to catch them. So you can reduce your likelihood of getting bitten to almost zero simply by not pursuing them, simply by not trying to screw with them. Next up, rattlesnakes warn you first. They're going to rattle. And here's an important thing to note. Snakes, because of their locomotion, it's theorized, I don't know, maybe proven, but it's at least theorized that that's one reason why snakes are so scary to humans is because we don't understand their locomotion. Our bodies, we just move in a completely different way, and it just freaking baffles us. So because of that, we don't understand them, and we have no idea what they're going to do. We just don't understand how they move. And so it's theorized that because of that, they're extra scary for us. But how did I diverge onto that? What was I saying about snakes? Oh, so often when I would encounter snakes on the trail, snakes on the side of the trail would often be curled up sleeping, and I would wake them up and they'd rattle at me. But the snakes that I actually saw on the trail, an important thing to note is they would usually be completely straight because they were sunning themselves. They were getting warm. And an important thing to note, well, let's just pretend like this is the snake. If the snake, in order for the snake to strike, it has to curl back so that it has a way to go out and bite. When it is straight and sunning itself, there's nothing it can do. The reason I'm over explaining this is just to say that it's not immediate. It's not the snake sees you and immediately bites you. The snake, it takes the snake a minute to notice you, react, and get ready to decide what it's going to do. So that was the most common, anytime I was immediately close to a snake, there's always this period where they let you know, where they see you, they react, and then they let you know. Now, if you continue to pursue them, if you decide to go on, if you don't see them, if you accidentally step on them, that's when the very rare, unprovoked rattlesnake bites happen. And those are just a risk. It's so unlikely if you're being aware, but it is possible. But most of the time you're going to encounter a snake, you're going to see it because it's going to see you, it's going to signal to you that it's there, and you're both going to give each other some space, and it's going to be fine. And so all that to say, by the end of this trail, I had that experience enough to be totally desensitized to it. And while I don't want to go cuddle snakes anytime soon, I don't want to hold one. I mean, I would, I guess. I don't have any desire to be closer to snakes, but I'm not irrationally scared of them like I was. If you mind your own business and stay aware, the risk of having a bad encounter with a snake is tiny, 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 tiny. So a few things you can do to stay safe around snakes. Number one.
Hello. Hey, if you are sitting there thinking, oh, I want to travel more, I want to go on more adventures, come with me. I host trips around the world. We've been hiking in Patagonia. We went looking for the Northern Lights in Iceland, trekking in Nepal, camping in Banff, Canada, in the Canadian Rockies. We do it all, and we have a real good time. Everyone's welcome. And all the details for any current trips, just click that little bubble up in the top corner, or go to my website, jjb.life/travel. And we almost always make at least one group cringy TikTok. So come hang out with us. We're a real good time.
Okay, so how can you be safe around snakes? Well, minding your own business. So first and foremost, just watching the trail ahead, just being mindful and visually looking ahead. That's hands down the best way. Next, especially in grass or around rocks or stepping over logs, grass is a great place for snakes to be. And they're just not going to see you in time. So that's a great scenario where those very minuscule bites do happen. But stepping over things like a log, like pretend like this is a log and you're stepping over it and you're coming this direction. There could be a little snake just chilling out under here, sleeping, hanging out. And you're going to come along and you're going to step over the log. And then when you step here next to it, you're not going to be able to see it, but you're going to be right next to it. You're probably going to catch it off guard. And that's another scenario where it could end up biting you. So if you step on the log, and then your next step will be far enough away that you're much less likely to get bitten. And the same thing goes on like rocky cliffs. They love to sun on rocks. Sometimes they'll make their dens in rocks. So if you're like reaching up to a rock, just don't reach places that you can't see. You could be reaching up inches from a snake who's going to bite you. So just keep a visual eye out, and just give them space. If you see a snake, don't approach it. Like go around it, chill out, get it to scurry away. I mean, I saw dozens and dozens and dozens of snakes on my PCT Thru-Hike. I went from in the beginning like full body panic mode to at the end like literally barely acknowledging them. The fear I had going into this hike was it was completely overblown. But the only way I could really figure that out was to be desensitized to it. And that's the thing. I did. You can spend months stressing about something, but once you're actually in it, sometimes it's kind of the only way to like really figure out that it's not really worth a second thought. Okay, next up, scorpions. They sound absolutely terrifying. I think they probably are in some ways. But how often do you actually see one? Well, I never saw any on the PCT. I don't know if they exist in Southern California, but I never saw one. And it wasn't really something I heard anybody talk about. But I do know on the Continental Divide Trail, for instance, I do know that they are a thing. So here's the thing. With a scorpion, what is the likelihood of your encounter? Well, first of all, and this is all, I don't have any personal experience. So I'm just relaying what I have learned onto you. They're mostly nocturnal, so they prefer like chilling under rocks and things. They're more common in dry desert areas. But just like snakes and other things, like they're not out to get you. They're not trying to be near you. So a few ways that you can prevent them: checking your shoes before you put them on. Apparently, they love small, dark places, and like shoes overnight are a really common place for them to go. So shake out those shoes, and same thing for all of your gear. Shake out your gear, anything like sleeping bags, clothes, just in case. And then using camp shoes at night. You do not want to step on one of them, apparently. Scorpion stings, it sounds like they're pretty painful, but they're rarely like seriously dangerous unless you're dealing with like a handful of specific species that are found in the southwest of the US. Other places in the world, I don't know. Australia, I think all bets are off, but I don't know. I'm just speaking from my US experience. Now on to the real menace. All right, forget snakes and scorpions. Mice. Those were my real issue on trail. And here's the thing: they will chew through your tent, your pack, your food bag to get to food. They will. They have zero fear of hikers. A lot of them, unlike the mice that you might have been accustomed to like in your house that are going to scurry away, some mice in nature do not have that innate fear of humans, and so they're much more comfortable getting very, very close to you. And at established campsites, which is probably where you're going to be staying in most places, they're everywhere. They know that hikers are there. They get a feast every night. So this is one thing that you should be not worried about, but you should be prepared for, because they are potentially going to be a problem depending where you are. If you're in a place with a lot of rodents, they're probably definitely going to be a problem. So this is one thing that is so not dangerous. I understand a lot of people are creeped out by them. I'm not. I had gerbils as pets when I was a little kid, and I love rodents. I mean, I don't want them scurrying. I don't want dirty nature rodents scurrying around me while I'm sleeping. I mean, I'm not saying that, but I'm not like, I don't have the same fear of them that I have of snakes. Very much the opposite. I'm ridiculously rational with rodents. But nonetheless, I don't want them scurrying around me. So food storage is probably the best way that you can prevent them. So, using something like an Ursack, which can't be penetrated, at least by rodents, or keeping your food in a bear canister, or hanging your food. If you're not in bear country and you don't need to do a traditional hang in some other way, just hanging your food like on a branch, or like up on a, just literally somewhere close. It doesn't have to be an official like food hang. That's a great way to keep rodents out. And you have to remember to keep food out of your tent. They will chew through so many people in the PCT had their tents chewed through. They will not hesitate. So it's not like, oh, it's probably not going to happen, but they will chew through your tent. They will chew through your tent to get to the food. They'll also chew through your bags. I mean, I cowboy camp, so I rarely set up a tent, but even still, they chewed through my food bag. I left a granola bar in a pocket of my backpack. They chewed through that. Like, they will chew through it. So just be really mindful, as you always should for various reasons. Just be mindful of where you're storing your food and where it is. Definitely keep it out of your tent. If you can, you usually can't, but if it's allowed to camp in a not popular campsite or an unestablished campsite, follow the rules. I'm not telling you to just camp willy-nilly, but being out of established campsites will go a long way to reduce your rodent encounters. I cowboy camped a ton, which meant I was super exposed and I was super uncomfortable with it at the beginning, but I had watched enough about cowboy camping to know that I knew they were irrational. I thought they were irrational fears. I didn't know it, but I thought they were. And I ended up being right, but I was super uncomfortable at first. I mean, it is awkward and feels weird. No tent, wall between me and the critters. I mean, it's really so just like mental. I mean, what physical barrier is it really providing against a lot of things? I mean, bugs, sure, rodents a little bit. But anyway, one night I woke up to a mouse like just all around my head. It wasn't like running on me, but I had left some food that I didn't know about. But it chewed through my food bag, chewed through pockets in my backpack. Forget snakes. Like, these were the real villains. They really were. Okay, last up is bugs. Now, I didn't really see that many spiders. I did see a tarantula once, which was awesome. I've never seen one before, and I thought that I would have been super freaked out by them. But it was cold when I saw it, so it could barely move. So it was very non-threatening. It was very lethargic. But mosquitoes, they're the worst. We were super lucky. We had a very limited amount of skeeter days, but we did go through a short 4 or 5 day stretch that was really, really bad. So here's the thing with mosquitoes. Most of them, or with spiders, most of them aren't dangerous. Black widows, brown recluses, they avoid humans, and those are the ones that are going to cause us the most problems in the U.S. But if you're worried, just shake out your gear before you use it. If you cannot fathom enduring a harmless spider walking over you in the night, spoiler, they do it in your house. You don't know it. But if that's the case, don't cowboy camp. Use a tent. That's a great way to keep spiders and everything out of your hair and out of your stuff. If you do cowboy camp, shaking out your bag and stuff beforehand, that's a great way to clear them out. But again, in the US, most of the poisonous spiders are going to avoid you. So again, this is it feels like a much bigger risk than it is. Shouldn't ignore it, but it's not a huge risk. But mosquitoes, they're going to make your life absolutely miserable. Permethrin treated clothing and head nets or your tent can help a lot. It's a spray. Who makes it? Sawyer makes one. There's other brands. But you can treat your clothing, tents, most gear, double check, but most gear can be treated with permethrin, and it stays on things for a while. If it's something you launder often, I don't know, you have to read the package. I don't remember the details, but it stays through some washings. Something like a tent or something that's realistically probably never getting washed, only occasionally getting rained on, it's going to last longer. Read the instructions, but it does make a difference, and it is great, especially things that aren't laundered often, like your pack or maybe layers or your tent, things like that. It can really go a long way. You can also permethrin your clothes, but as you wash them, it's going to go away. Next, DEET. DEET works, but it can also destroy your gear. So be really conscious of where it's going. It's especially like plastics and like artificial fibers are what it tends, in my experience, to my knowledge, are what it affects the most. So like spraying it on a rain jacket, the rain jacket will maybe melt, or at least like the waterproofing might like come off. Like it really jacks it up. So be really careful if you're using DEET. I don't know. I think the science is complicated. I don't know. It feels weird to put something that intense on my body. I don't know. I like to avoid DEET if I can, not just because of the gear, but the gear is a really, really good reason it'll ruin your gear like that. And next is picaridin. It works similarly. It's a bug spray, or it's something that's in some bug spray, and it works pretty decently, but it doesn't have that same risk of melting your stuff. The thing about DEET is it works. It works, but with costs, right? The thing is, with dealing with bugs, I don't know why I failed to mention this. First and foremost, a hairnet, or not a hairnet, a mosquito net. That's the easiest way to keep them off your face. And layers. That's the way to do it. But it's about being prepared. Like you don't need it until you need it, but it's too late. So don't wait until you need bug protection to be prepared for it on the trail. If you're going to be in a buggy area, be prepared. They're harmless, but they will absolutely ruin your trip. Y'all, by the end of my through hike, I realized I had wasted so much mental energy worrying about those snakes when I should have been watching out for mice. That was the real inconvenience. The things that you think are going to be super scary, or at least for me, most of them, they weren't. It's the stuff that you don't expect that always gets you, right? Hey, if you are loving this series and you want more of this no-nonsense backpacking advice, check out the full Trail Boss playlist. The link is in the description. And don't forget to download the free ebook that comes with it, Trail Boss, a semi-helpful guide to conquering your outdoor fears. And if you just want to hike without having to deal about snakes or watching out for mice or dealing with logistics, just go on one of my group trips. I host trips all over the world. Some of them are super adventurous. Some of them are super luxurious. There's all sorts. Right now I have a trip to Banff. There's still spots on that. But if it's full, don't worry. Check the link. There's always I'm always announcing new trips. So subscribe, do all that fun stuff. And I'll see you in the next video. In the next video, we're going to tackle bears and mountain lions and more. Happy trails.
Want to watch another video? Click here. Want to learn more about my upcoming trips? Click here. Want to subscribe and like all my videos and turn those bell notifications on?